We got Sarah on the Nami. I'll admit, enchanters, not my specialty. Even doing the Nuzlocke challenge, enchanters are like the last things I need to play because I'm not good at being supportive. But a big thing that I try to focus on when I am playing support is when I rotate. And Pike is probably the best at that, seeing as how he plays Pike and Bard, which rotating for them is the entire name of the game. But I'm
at the fight before it starts.
I still like to focus on rotating and roaming no matter what support I'm playing, other than, of course, maybe like Yumi, of course, but like when I played Heimer, when I played Milio, Nami, I still try and make sure I get my mid lane ganks in, or maybe mess with the enemy jungler, make sure I'm getting vision on their buff. Like this game, I'd try and get a little deep ward in on his red buff or something. But that becomes a lot harder, I have learned, in some of these matchups, because in some lanes, you just never leave tower. And if you leave your ADC in that situation, they just die 90% of the time, which is really annoying. Even when I get my ADC a lead and then rotate, my ADC still usually dies.
Oh yeah, they'll just decide it's time to die.
Yeah, they'll still die 90% of the time, and I don't know why that is. You know, ADC players, they don't really think too much, but
they just get bored and little ADHD minds are like, all right, I can win this 1v2.
But yeah. So what I want to kind of have a focus on Sarah here is she's been talking about improving her warding and whatnot, so I'm curious to see what she does. I'm curious to see how she rotates, how she plays the lane phase, where she's warding, when she's warding. We're just going to see how it plays out here. After lane phase, none of it really matters too much. It's a clown fiesta. That's just how it goes, but I'll enjoy watching that all the same. I will say this is an interesting lane matchup of Brand Zyra. Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you got Misfortune Nami versus Brand Zyra. Instinctively, I want to kind of go more passive, because I just don't think Nami Misfortune has more damage and 2v2 potential. But
I mean, they don't have more damage, but you want to try and get the push. Because then it's harder for them to harass if you have the minion wave.
Fair.
If you're
fair.
stuck up under your tower, you're just going to get poked out a whole bunch.
That makes sense.
So you don't really want to trade against them, but if you can hit the minions...
See, I'm a happy little tower hugger. I don't know what to say. I always happily let them get the push in pretty much every matchup. I happily sit under my tower, farm it up. Another thing I didn't... Oh, see, now this is what I'm saying. You don't want the 2v2, but you want them to make a mistake, and then I think you have the advantage. Sadly, still don't quite have the damage and Rek'Sai's here, but a beautiful bubble coming out, just gonna be enough to keep the Misfortune alive. Very
I'll be back
nice.
in a bit.
Okay. But, yeah, I think they played that extremely well. Like, they see Zyra walk off. Brand is being dumb and sticking around for no reason whatsoever. And they instantly get aggressive. That's what I like to see right there. Another thing I didn't really think of, you know, is if you manage to shove into them, you know, force them to farm under tower. I don't imagine Brand farms too well under tower. which I gotta give it credit to. He actually has the most farm in the game right now, with a wave pushing towards him. So the Brand ADC with the farming got it down. So Mumu went for a gank there. There was absolutely nothing there. I don't know what he was looking for. Only one in the lane was Zyra. They didn't have very good vision of the lane. It's sort of pushed up, but it's pushing towards them. There's no reason for Zyra to be stepped up. Only way a Mumu gets a kill there is if Zyra highly misplays it, and or Brand, since I imagine they thought he was there. But you're pretty much counting on the opponents being dumb and being overly aggressive for no reason in a situation where they have no incentive to even be pushed up and die to a gank. So weird gank out of a Mumu, but I understand what they were going for there. What is going on with the replays today? What's happening? Do I need to go back a bit? This Brand is taking some weird recall timings. He recalled, came back to lane, pushed it, then recalled again. It's kind of slowing down the pace of what I think they kind of want to go for here. Oh wow. Oh wow, they got everybody there. They had vision, but their vision is here, and I'm not a big fan of bush wards. I feel like bush wards are what you do. What is happening here? What is happening? Riot, please, let me just play the game. Okay, I don't like this bush ward. I like wards up here. I don't ever really ward this bush. Only time I would ever really ward this bush... Can this thing stop, please? Only time I would ever really ward this bush is if I was playing on this side of the map. You can ward here just in case they want to blast plant over into this bush. But at the same time, if that's really what you're worried about, you're probably better off just putting a ward up here like they have. And that'll shut that down. But yeah, I always prefer to ward up here because they would have seen Anivia coming, would have gave them a little bit more time to react, because yeah, they saw the Anivia Rek'Sai show up, but they're already pushed up to here. You can't do anything. Like, you're not making it back to here by the time they get from here to there. So right now they're shoved under tower. This is nothing. This is where Sarah should be roaming. This is that roam window. Miss Fortune can farm this wave by herself. This Brand is recalling again for the 4th time this minute. She needs to be gone. She's sitting here doing absolutely nothing for her team right now. She needs to be getting wards over here. She could be looking to maybe set up a gank on the Anivia, because Anivia's shoving up, so she could ward here, rotate up mid. Lux gets here. She comes from behind. Maybe they can make something happen. Anivia doesn't even have passive, so if they land a bubble or a snare, they can definitely kill her or force her flash, which she doesn't even have. This is the rotate timer. When you get that shove in, you don't need to sit here and watch Miss Fortune farm. It's honestly probably better to not be in the lane and just give your ADC that solo experience. Given these two walk up, Miss Fortune probably would have died, because that's how ADCs are. They don't respect the enemy team, and he would have just got hit by their whole combo and died. But that's not your fault. That's your ADC's fault. It happens. And now we're just getting crazy aggressive for Zero and tower diving Zyra Brand. Lux with the rotate comes out. But yeah, They ended up trying to force a gank where the mid lane was way better to get a behind gank, and they don't have any vision. Like, they have a ward here, but you would have cleared this, and they're not expecting you to clear this and then rotate up into here. You would not go through this bush. You would come from behind here, so they wouldn't even see you on this ward. It would have been the freest gank of your life, but instead they tried to force one where Amumu engaged with his flash ult, and they still didn't even pick up the kill. So just something to consider in the future. Instead of trying to force ganks, find better opportunities where you can get behind the opponents and force them to flash, and not you be forced to flash to get the gank off. Again, Misfortune's going to shove this wave in, and then it's just a slow moment. Rotate. Don't go back into lane here. This is when you leave. You moved up and you warded this, cleared that vision. That's fine. Again, go get wards over here. Get wards in the wolves. Rotate up, help the mid. You don't need to be here right now because you're doing nothing. This isn't helping your team at all. Again, you leave, this wave's going to push back. Misfortune can farm this by herself because this wave is going to push towards your tower regardless. So Misfortune will get this farm, or she'll die because she pushed up too far trying to get the farm. She might miss a minion or two, but she's getting solo experience. She's going to be able to farm it under tower. She still has her flash. She should be fine if she's a good player. And you can do things on the map like help Amumu secure these kills, as well as get vision of the enemy jungler, so you don't have to worry about him getting ganks off. Even if you find the enemy jungler in his jungle, just fuck with them. Throw all your spells at him and walk away. Make his life a little more difficult. Now he's got less HP to make the next gank happen. I don't know. That's just how I see things when I'm playing support. Is I don't want to, after like level 4, 5, especially 6, I don't want to be sitting around here just kind of waiting for a 2v2 fight to break out. And that's even regardless of who your opponents are. Like Brand Zyra especially, I don't want to have a 2v2 fight with. Because you kind of want to get a pick onto them. In the straight 2v2 fight, clearly you see the Zyra is extremely fed and their damage is outrageous. And that would just and moving it around the map and doing stuff like that will just help you get better control of like the dragons. So if your jungler is pretty objective oriented, you're going to be closer to where you want to be when the time comes, if you're not ramming it down your lane. But let's go see. Looks like she's getting ready to play some wards here, so we'll see what she's got in mind. Help the jungler out a little bit. Everybody loves that. Great support. Little behind the dragon pit ward. Oh, love that ward. Beautiful ward. Very nice. Very nicely done. So she doesn't have the support upgrade yet. And she didn't buy any pink wards. So all of her wards are on the map right now. Given there's nothing really I would say that needs warding. So it's not that, oh my god, Brand just ults, just throws it out there. Doesn't even care. Very nice catch out of Amumu. Very nice catch. This Zyra is warding extremely well, which is why these ganks are having so much trouble coming off. Zyra has those deep wards that I'm talking about. Yeah, this again, this ward's not the greatest. If this ward was pushed up to here, they would have lived again another gank. Because this Amumu has tried to gank them like 3 or 4 times now. That's the first time this Zyra Brand bot lane has died. Because the Zyra's warding so well for these ganks. And again, if this was pushed up, they would have lived that one too. Because I barely got them even with it being there. That little extra time you have to react is the difference between life and death. So what do you think, Pike? You're the roaming support. When do you look to rotate out the lane? Always and forever, which is why your ADCs hate you?
No, I actually do it very well. I usually do it when the wave's resetting or when it's bouncing back to them. When they can just sit there and not lose any XP, but they just walk up and die.
Yeah. I don't even know what the Jack died to there. He died to Rek'Sai's presence.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Having 8 vision score at 15 minutes is a little sus even to me who doesn't play Summoner's Rift. Yeah, I mean, you can see the difference. Zyra has 25 vision score. Sarah has 10. This is why Amumu can't get anything going bot lane. They're getting camped bot lane. Amumu's ganking the shit out of them. But they can't get anything done because the Zyra is warding amazing. Look how many pink wards the enemy team has. Every single member of the enemy team has a pink ward. This team doesn't have a single one.
Shut down.
Like, I think Amumu is much better at ganking, especially compared to Rek'Sai. They also have Skarner top, which is really troll. So Amumu's doing well. But I think the enemy team over here is playing safer-ish. Just they're playing very well, considering how strong Amumu's ganking ability is. And that's why they're still in this game and fucking fighting back, despite top and mid absolutely sprinting it. She also would have upgraded her support item faster if she just roamed, since they weren't fighting, since Zyra had it at like 8 minutes earlier. Yeah. I mean, I can't say much about that. I'm not the best at upgrading my support items, but it would have just further snowballed the situation. Not to mention, if you rotate up as the support and kill the opposing mid laner, I promise you that mid laner is going to flame his bot lane, because it's what they do. It's never their fault that they didn't have vision down and weren't playing safe. That's the enemy's bot lane. And how would the opposing bot lane even think to do that? Brand is recalling and Zyra's in base. They're not watching where Nami is. Nami would have got that roam off for free. And then they blame the bot lane like the bot lane can do anything about it. Like, they're in base trying to buy. How are they supposed to keep track of Nami? You're not keeping track of Nami and you're playing the game. You're actively farming and whatnot. And yeah, so it just starts getting that flame going, the mental warfare. Oh. Wow. The fact that she got that ult off and Anivia still managed to get the Q is crazy. That was a crazy Anivia Q. Alright, it's 20 minutes. We'll let it go to direct camera. We're just gonna see where the action is from here. Lane phase is over. It's just time for the fiesta. I mean, isn't that something we can look? Fog of War. Let's see. Red side has... They got some vision over here. How do they have vision up there? Does this give vision? Why does it show they have vision everywhere there's a Skarner? Well, it says they have vision, but they definitely don't have vision here, here, and here. That's all dark. Literally, all their vision is like right here. But then you go to blue side... And they got this map lit up. You got a pink ward here. You got a pink ward on both sides of the mid lane. Pink ward in their own jungle. They've got pink ward just set up. They got another pink ward on the dragon. They have 4 pink wards on the map right now. This team has, red team has 1 ward out, and it's on a pink ward. Actually, no, they have 1 here that's dying. It's a vision of war. It's a war of vision. I'm going to sleep. It's a vision of war. And that's not just on Sarah. That's the whole red team. Nobody on their team is warding. Where the blue team, everybody's warding. And that's just how you win games. You play as a team, you get the vision down. What? Why are you laughing over there? Pike?
No, that's my game.
Oh.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I'm surprised Rek'Sai didn't go for that. Zyra will. Zyra, oh, she's dead. And Naomi was dead. Ooh, what a flash. Wowzers, wowzers. They got greedy. Oh. Brand gets a decent ult off. But he didn't throw any other spells. There he goes. He should live. Yeah, if Brand threw his spells earlier, he might have killed the rest of them. Because he had a pretty good ult. He needed to get an E off and it spread to them and it would have started popping, but... Yeah, they got super greedy there. And now, this is a huge turnaround. They needed that. That was really good for them. Amumu turned that at the perfect time. So he went Divine Sunder into Spear of Sojin on the Jax. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about Blue Trinket Skarner. I'm not a big fan of that. It's a Mumu's going. Oh! The ult goes right in between both of them. The kick is good. Another big misfortune ult comes out though. They clean it up and the Brand manages to get away again. He's a sneaky little guy. Only 1 death for him. He plays way back. Like, he's definitely missed out on some kills because of his play style, but he's also, they can't kill him. He's staying alive. He could be a little nuisance for him. 3rd drag for them. They trade top inner tower for 3rd drag, so we'll see how that plays out.
Half an hour. Can I use you in half an hour? I just want to put the beans in the refrigerator in the garage. If I fall asleep, call me.
Alright, we got some vision clearing. I don't think Baron's coming up anytime soon. No objectives are coming up. Let's trying to get some pressure on the map here. Everyone's gonna take a little time, clear out vision. Rek'Sai doing a nice defensive sweep there. I think that's very smart. Red team just cannot get any vision down in their jungle. Nothing's sticking. Yeah, we got pink ward down here, don't we? Whose pink ward is this? Does it tell me? No? Won't tell me whose pink ward this is? That was from Jax. Why does it not tell me whose pink ward this is? Fortune. So we got vision around Dragon, which makes sense. We just took Dragon. But now we need to move that vision up. We want to get vision around here. We want to get vision around here. Get some right here. We want to see where the enemy team is in this late game, so they can't get any picks going. Maybe you can get some picks on them. That's how you have a general idea of where they're all at. The Amumu Misfortune Nami combo is just, honestly, it's just, their team comp is really good. Snatching up the Lux. Lux goes golden though. Can she flash out? No. Get some damage off. Almost kills the brand actually. Would have killed the Zyra. I just think red team's comp is just better. Their team fight is just much stronger. The Amumu engage is too much for them to handle. They don't really have engage on the other side. Like, you have Skarner and you have Rek'Sai, but they're not really engaging a fight. They're more so trying to get picks, where Amumu's just going in. Amumu sees someone and Amumu just lets it rip, and then it's just kind of over from there.
It's a lot of slow damage from their side with Brand, Zyra, and Nivea.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna wombo for someone fast enough. Like, if you get a Mumu Misfortune Art, you're getting popped.
Exactly. Like, you got a Mumu ult coming out, Nami ult coming out, Misfortune ult, Lux ult. That's super long range lockdown and damage, and they just can't really do anything about it. Comp is just better.
Yeah.
Blue team needs to, like I said, blue team needs to get some wards down, and they need to try and find some picks. That's what they need to look for here. They need to use the Skarner, they need to use the Rek'Sai especially, and they need to find some people alone. But red team is playing really smart, and they're just hugging each other. Just stay close.
Zyra and Brand have first, but also, if they find the tank, I don't know if they kill him in time.
Yeah.
They have almost like a zone control team. So they'd almost want someone who could win the split push while they just control minion waves and objective areas.
What am I looking at? Anivia trapped her own Skarner in with the enemy team. Skarner's now pinging her. Skarner's now pinging the Anivia. Skarner ulted Jax, but then Anivia walled him in with the enemy team. And so he just ulted him with nowhere to go. And just Skarner's stuck there to die. That's rough.
Lock the doors.
And that should about do it. Maybe Zyra Brand can slow him down here, but just a clean game overall. Well played out of the red team there. They really came together in the late half, using that team comp to its fullest. And the Brand, Zyra, Nivea just didn't have the damage or the survivability for the Wombo.